From the pages of the Dundalk Examiner and Louth Advertiser, dated 20th of November 1915. Recruiting in Dundalk, a good-humoured audience, some amusing incidents. There was a good deal of good-humoured banter at a recruiting meeting held in the Market Square on Wednesday night. The first speaker was Lieutenant Sheehy, who told the audience that he was the son of a nationalist MP and that he wanted some people to come forward that he might be finished with recruiting. He proceeded to dilate on German atrocities when somebody shouted, "What about 98? An interesting disputation between the interrupter and one of the auditors followed, winding up with a declaration on Home Rule, a loud-voiced local celebrity who declined Lieutenant Sheehy's invitation to don the khaki. Lieutenant Grant, who had been in the trenches, followed. He apologised for his lack of oratorical ability by explaining that he was only a soldier, and a young soldier. They might not believe all they read in the newspapers about life in the trenches. If they joined the army, they would have a jolly good time in the trenches. They might not care to go because of their girls at home, but there were girls in France just as good, and they could see them just as often. In the trenches, they would have the rum as regularly as the beer at home. When they returned after the war, those who had not gone would be regretting it. They would be marching through the streets of Dublin. They would have all the women folk kissing them. They would have a jolly good drunk as all over. The speaker concluded by stating that he would stand a drink to every man who came up and joined. Lieutenant Sheehy stated that the kind of officers they would have would be jolly good fellows, much as the last speaker. He then introduced to the audience Lieutenant Moyna. Lieutenant Moyna's discourse was rendered somewhat incoherent, owing to frequent outbursts of laughter on the part of the audience. "The men are in the trenches fighting for us," declared the speaker, and the audience laughed callously. "Laugh away," said Lieutenant Moyna, somewhat irritably, and the audience complied with unexpected readiness. "Are you finished?" queried the impatient orator, and the audience again went off into a side-shaking paroxysm. The speaker gazed embarrassingly at the good-humoured crowd. "It is no laughing matter," he urged, but the audience would have their little laugh, and there was a further spasm. The speaker proceeded to refer to the ravishing of certain institutions. This was too much for the audience. There was a titter, and then a further explosion. The speaker, in obvious discomfiture, retired, with the unique distinction of being the first to be laughed down at a public meeting.